Ahead on Spectrum News, as you head to the polls this election day, we have what you need to know about the biggest races locally and statewide. The 3 local congressional seats up for grabs could play a role in which party controls Congress. We'll highlight those races as well as the national outlook. And Bishop Richard Malone updated the clergy sex abuse scandal. Details on the Buffalo Catholic Diocese new list of accused priests. Good morning, I'm Scott Patterson. You're watching Spectrum News on this Tuesday, November 6th, Election Day. We have rain for your morning commute and also some heavy wind as we go through the day. Let's get right over to meteorologist Dan Russell.
Thanks for joining me for a quick Weather on the Ones update. Starting out the day with widespread soaking rain. However, that's going to move out here fairly quickly. And most of today, this is what we're going to be tracking. That's going to be gusty winds, especially as we go through the evening hours. Could see some gusts there anywhere from 40 to as much as 50 miles per hour. That's why we do have a wind advisory in place. These winds are going to be pumping in some fairly warm air. In fact, highs today from Buffalo to Niagara Falls, low to mid 60s. That's anywhere from 10 to almost 15 degrees above average. Rain will taper off to scattered showers. Tonight, nothing more than a leftover shower. Still going to be quite windy, though. Overnight lows in the mid 40s. For Jamestown, Dunkirk, and across Sudden Tier, again, it's a wet start. This rain will taper to scattered showers, and then windy and warm with highs in the upper 50s and low 60s. Breezy and cooler tonight. Just a couple of spot leftover showers with lows around 40. More details here in a bit.
Now, your Mr. Tire traffic report.
Well, you can see the wet roads as you get ready to head out this morning. 190 in Niagara to your left and to your right, 400 at Transit. Everything's moving well, though. The volumes are still pretty light overall. If you're going to be heading out now, there's an early accident here. It's on the 90 westbound, right near exit 50, where you get off to connect to the Youngman. And a little bit of delay, as you can see behind it, but not much at all. If you're going to be heading through there, remember to slow down and move over when you see those police lights. Youngman looks good, both directions. 290 from the 990 over to the 190, either eastbound or westbound. Across the bridge, shouldn't find any delay there. 190 southbound along the river all the way down to the 5 and the Skyway. Everything looks good. Skyway inbound on time and quiet right now. We'll check back again shortly.
The polls are now open for this Election Day 2018. Spectrum News reporter Mike Arena joins us now from Marine Drive in Buffalo with some of today's key races. Mike, looks like people are going to have to go through some rain to get to the polls.
Oh yeah, Scott. A little rain never hurt anybody, and it's worth it if you're coming out to do your civic duty. We've already seen some people, as the polls just opened, go into the Marine Drive's apartments here in Buffalo. We're expecting Kathy Hochul to be one of those voters later this morning, but while we wait for her arrival, let's take a look at some of the more interesting races across Western New York, starting with that controversial 27th Congressional District, where Democratic challenger Nate McMurray is taking on incumbent Republican Congressman Chris Collins. You may recall Collins was indicted on insider trading charges earlier this year. He, for a short time, suspended his campaign, but then reignited it and is now looking to be reelected. Nate McMurray currently serves as the Grand Island town supervisor. Another race we're keeping a close eye on is the 142nd State Assembly seat, where Republican incumbent Eric Bowen is taking on Democrat and Erie County legislator Pat Burke in a rematch from a special election earlier this year. Bowen was able to outlast Burke in that special election after now Erie County Clerk Mickey Kearns vacated the seat when he won that election. Now, Bowen was able to win that seat, and he is looking to retain it and stay in Albany going forward. So we're going to be keeping an eye on all these races, and as we wait for the Lieutenant Governor's arrival, you can check back here on Spectrum News as the polls are now open. We'll have election coverage all day. Reporting in Buffalo, Mike Arena, Spectrum News.
In the 23rd Congressional District, Republican Tom Reed wants to keep the seat he's held since 2010. He's being challenged by Democrat Tracy Mitrano. Both candidates have campaigned on health care, immigration, and gun laws. The 23rd District is the southwestern part of the state that extends from Chautauqua County and stretches along the border of Pennsylvania, covering 11 counties total. In the 26th Congressional District, Democratic incumbent Brian Higgins is also looking to keep the seat he has held since 2005. Looking for the upset is Republican Renee Zeno. Her campaign is focused on term limits, infrastructure, and bringing jobs to the area. The biggest statewide race is for governor. Andrew Cuomo is seeking another term. If reelected, it would be his third term. He'd be the first Democrat to do so since his father. Running against him is Republican Mark Molinaro, who is currently the Dutchess County executive. Other candidates include former Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner, Green Party candidate Howie Hawkins, and Libertarian candidate Larry Sharp. Another major statewide race is the one for Attorney General. Buffalo native Keith Wofford and New York City public advocate Tish James are the main candidates and will make history. Either would be the first black Attorney General in the state. Both candidates are focused on getting corruption out of the state capitol. The winner will replace former Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, who left abruptly after accusations of abuse. Acting Attorney General Barbara Underwood has been filling in but is not running. Our local congressional races play into a larger picture as both parties fight for control of Congress. This is the first nationwide election of Donald Trump's presidency. Campaigning has been fierce, pitting Trump's combative style of politics against the Democratic resistance to him. Republicans are privately expressing confidence in their ability to hold their narrow Senate majority, but they fear their House majority is slipping away to Democrats.
The Republican agenda is the American dream, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing back the American dream.
President Trump wrapped up a 6-day, 8-state campaign blitz last night with his 11th rally, this one in Missouri. It featured radio host Rush Limbaugh and Fox News personalities Sean Hannity and Jeanine Pirro. Throughout his final day of events, the president continued his central focus on the caravan of Central American migrants heading toward the U.S. to request asylum.
Democrats are inviting caravan after caravan, isn't that nice, of illegal aliens to flood into our country and overwhelm your communities. If you want more caravans and more crime, vote Democrat.
The caravan of more than 2,000 migrants is camped out in a Mexico City sports stadium. Democrats say the fight for Congress comes down to whether voters are comfortable with President Trump.
Whether we as Americans are comfortable about having a president who is trying to divide us up based on the color of our skin or the country that we came from or our sexual orientation or our religion.
Democrats have also highlighted health care as a major issue leading up to Election Day. Federal agencies say they have not seen any threats to state election systems so far. They say they're working more closely with state and local election officials than they did 2 years ago. While those systems may be more secure, there have been some issues during early voting across the country. Voters and civil rights groups are raising concerns about machines that changed votes and voter registration forms that were denied because of clerical problems. If you need a ride to the polls, Lyft and Uber are offering you deals today. Lyft is offering 50% off rides to and from polling places. Just use the promo code VOTENY1. It's also offering free rides to people in underserved communities who face transportation issues. For Uber, you can get $10 off by using the promo code VOTE2018, but it can only be used for one way. If you're still deciding which candidate to vote for today, check out the Decision 2018 voting guide on our website, SpectrumLocalNews.com. We have guides to major races in our area, general election day facts, and an explanation of some common voting myths. We even have a polling place locator to help you find where to vote. And we have you covered tonight. Capitol Tonight will have special local and statewide coverage starting at 8 o'clock, an hour before polls close. We'll then have results and reaction throughout the night as they come in. Bishop Richard Malone publicly discussed the latest developments in the clergy sex abuse scandal. He and other church leaders spoke for more than an hour at a news conference, a week after former diocese employee Siobhan O'Connor appeared on 60 Minutes, admitting she leaked documents about an alleged cover-up. O'Connor says the initial list of 42 priests the diocese released in March is higher, with 8 or 9 still serving. Diocese leaders say that is not true. They say those 8 or 9 have been removed from ministry and near the reach of children, but not yet removed from the clergy. The diocese released an updated list, including an additional 36 clergy members with substantiated claims of sexual abuse of a minor, bringing the total to 78. The bishop said again that despite numerous calls for his resignation, he will not step down.
A resignation, of course, is not automatic. It requires the permission of the Holy Father. In addition, the Diocese of Buffalo deserves to regain stability. A resignation does not bring stability. In fact, it can exacerbate instability.
Malone says he encourages victims of abuse to break their silence and come forward. Harvey Weinstein filed motions to dismiss the 5 remaining sex crimes charges against him in New York. That includes predatory sex assault and first-degree rape. His lawyers argue police misconduct in the case prejudiced the grand jury. They also say one woman's communications show any contact she had with Weinstein was consensual. Nearly 100 women accused the disgraced movie mogul of sexual misconduct dating back decades. New York is the only jurisdiction to bring criminal charges against him so far. Police in North Tonawanda are asking for your help finding this missing person. Natalia LeBron was reported missing on Sunday. Police say she may be in the company of a man in Niagara Falls. If you have any information, you're asked to call 716-692-4317. Well, this morning we have some last-minute advice on what you need to know before you head out to vote. And plenty of people filled KeyBank Center last night. We'll tell you how you can take part in the next free skate in Buffalo.